Hello and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for my very first guest today is this incredible singer and songwriter known by the name of Demi Flack. So I'm about to add Demi into the live now and have a chat with Demi about her incredible music. So yeah, let's add Demi in and have a chat with Demi. Hi Demi, how's it going?
Hi, good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I just want to say first up, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It's such a pleasure having you on, Demi. To people that don't know who you are, if you can give like a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Okay. I am 22. I'm a musician. I'm from upstate New York. By day, I do social media marketing and data analytics for an online auto parts retailer. And then music is just kind of a side passion of mine.
So we'll dive right into the very first question. So for my very first question, you have created this incredible cover called how do I say this right? You were called You and I. What was it like getting to create this cover of You and I? And like what was your thoughts going through your head? Why did you want to create this cover?
All right, so this was like probably like I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. I was back in high school, and I had always loved Ingrid Michaelson. She's one of my idols. We love her. Um, so and to this day, actually, that song is the one that I pull out of my back pocket when I start talking to a boy and I like want to make him fall in love. Um, but I think it was just kind of, it was a cute little love song, and probably same reasoning. I probably had a crush on a boy, and I probably wanted him to hear it.
Awesome. So on to our next question. So you have also created a cover called Distance. What was it like What was it like creating a cover of Distance? Such an incredible song of Christina Perri's. What was it like getting to do a Christina Perri cover?
I've always loved her. She was actually my the very first concert that I ever went to was a Christina Perri concert. So I actually think it was shortly after I went to said concert that I made that one. And I was actually just listening to that song before we hopped on here because I hadn't heard it in years. But it's I used to really have a thing for like the sad emotional ballads. So it was definitely a lot of fun to create, and that was when I was first getting into guitar and learning kind of how to record myself. And I think that was also when I went through my phase of I was making like black and white slideshow music videos and everything. So very dramatic.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So you have also created a cover of Cut Your Teeth. Incredible song, sensational song. You've performed it really well. What was it like getting to perform a cover of Cut Your Teeth?
It was a super fun one. I think that was like right after the song had just come out, and me and all my girlfriends have been screaming it for weeks. So it was definitely a ton of fun. It was really catchy. It was one of those songs that when it comes out, like what is this laced with? It's so good. So it was definitely a lot of fun.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So you've also done a cover of Florida Kilos. What was it like getting to create a cover of this? And yeah, what was running through your mind of wanting to create this cover?
So I was 16 at the time. I didn't know what the song was about. That knowledge came later in life. But it was definitely a lot of fun. I'm a huge Lana fan. My older sister is like a die-hard Lana fan. So I'm pretty sure at the time that one was heavily under her suggestion. But I love that song to this day.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So you have also created a music video, such an incredible music video, by the way, called When You Cry. What was the experience like getting to create this music video, and what was the whole meaning behind this music video?
Okay, so I'm actually that one was an art project for my sister when she was in college. And I was home on winter break from boarding school. And I think we were just really, really bored, and I think she had a cinematography project to do, and we're both diehard Lana fans, so it was definitely a ton of fun. It was the first time I'd ever done something like that. I dabbled in modeling when I was younger, so it wasn't like a complete shock to be in front of the camera, but I definitely hadn't done like video before. So it was a really fun time. I think we had countless laughs while trying to create that. So it was definitely intense.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So you have also created a cover of Sweet Dreams. What was it like getting to create this cover of Sweet Dreams, and like what was running through your head of wanting to create this cover in the first place?
So it's one of those songs that the original is fantastic, but also you hear covers and like for some reason all of them sound good. And I really enjoyed it. Pretty sure that was I think there's a music video to that one too. It was years and years and years ago. And my sister and I had dug out. We had like an old fog machine from the base. We're like, okay, perfect. We know what we're doing today. So I think it was kind of one of those situations where we were just having fun.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So what made you decide as a person, hey, I want to start pursuing music in the first place? And who would be your like inspiration in life, like music wise?
So I think I've just always really been like musically inclined. Like as a kid, no one could ever get me to stop singing or shut up. So, and then as I got older, I started to kind of teach myself instruments and work on that skill. And I've always really liked performing. I think some of my inspirations would be Stevie Nicks, my little hippie chick, and Janis Joplin. She's fantastic. A lot of women in those vein where it's just powerful, influential women who kind of changed the game in a way.
So on to the very next question. So what does performing music like mean to you, like especially as an artist?
I think that it's definitely a big release, and it's a it's something that it puts me in my flow state, if that makes sense, where you're not in your head, you're not worrying about what do I need to do for work, what do I need to do for this. It's just you're in the moment, you're really present, which is something that I really enjoy, and it's just always something that's kind of my heart happy.
So on to the very next question. So if you could like work with any top three music artists in the music industry, who would they be and why?
Stevie Nicks, because she is God. ZZ Ward, I have always adored her voice. And Taylor Momsen from Pretty Reckless, just
Yes.
because I grew up, Pretty Reckless was all through my angsty stage, and to this day, Nothing Left to Lose is, the song I can't help from like turning up on speakers. And I've just always thought she was like super cool. When I was like 13, I'm pretty sure I got my hair cut like her multiple times. She fed me through my scene phase and out the other side. So,
So on to the very next question. So what have you learned about yourself, like as a person, like especially during COVID?
so during COVID, I had like a really bad breakup mid COVID, and I was living, with my significant other at the time, and then I moved in, and I wasn't really doing music or anything at that time, and then I moved into my own place, and then really was secluded for a long time. And during that time, I learned so much about myself as a person, as a musician. I got back into my interests. I ended up actually taking up piano. I used to only play guitar, and now I learned how to play piano during COVID. Just kind of, there's nothing else to do. And it was definitely a lot of fun. And it really gave me the time to kind of reflect and realize, I started posting more. I usually post covers on my TikTok account. And it kind of made me release the fear of like judgment or something, because I used to not post something, be like, oh, I don't know if it's good enough, yada, yada, yada. But when it's kind of like you and yourself all day, you get pretty.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So what are like the positive and negative sides into creating music, and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
I think that one of the big things is that every musician goes through is fear of judgment, or especially when you're putting out a cover and you're just like, okay, I'll just record it one more time, it'll be better the next time. Kind of get into that perfectionist mode, which is definitely one of the struggles. I forgot the rest of the question.
So how do you get through those like negative kind of moments and like the positive sides?
I think that's something that it took me a while to realize, is that, putting yourself out there with craft is never going to hurt you. And then the only people who are going to judge you are people who don't really have a craft themselves, because, you know, what I've learned from, you know, working with other musicians, I recently, you know, one of my best friends, and she's a musician, the other day, you know, we were just kind of like jamming in my apartment, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, this is rough. She was like, why would I care? And, you know, and that's something that I've kind of, you know, learned to like let go of the fear of any sort of judgment or anything like that.
So on my very last question, so what's like next for you, like music wise, for like the rest of 2021 that you'd like to announce on the show?
I guess so. I've been starting to put together a bunch of originals, which is something that I used to never release. I've always written music, but I never released it. So I'm finally getting to the point where I'm ready to release those songs, and I've just been writing a ton, and I'm really excited to see how people react to them.
Awesome. Well, would you like to perform one of your songs on the show, by the way, Demi?
Sure.
Awesome.
Let's see. Honey, I'm ready to go. Back, it's time to hit the road. The horizon been calling my name, and I'm tired of living the same. Mama, please don't cry. I'll be back someday. Dry your eyes. Dad, I promise to keep my eyes on the road, but my gypsy heart has to go. There's so much of this world I haven't seen. This small town wasn't made for me. I heard the West Coast feels like home to those of us who feel all alone. And I'll come back around to tell you about those West Coast towns with new ink pounded in my skin, telling stories about adventures yet to begin. There's so much of this world I haven't seen. This small town wasn't made for me. I heard the West Coast feels like home to those of us who feel all alone. And I'll be safe along my way, and we will meet again someday.
Yes, Demi, yes. Well, can I just say thank you so much, Demi, for taking the time to join my show. It's been such a pleasure having you on today. Do you have like any last final thoughts or anything that you'd like to say on the show to people?
I guess I'll announce my my TikTok handle, which is where I post most of my covers, which is just Demi Flack 867. But no, this has been really fun. I've never done an interview before, so this has been a new experience, and thank you so much for having me. Sweet dreams made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Sweet dreams made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Keep your head up, moving on. Hold your head up, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on.
hold your head up, moving on, keep your head up, moving on, hold your head up, moving on. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.